What lies beyond the final breath? Is it nothingness or a journey beyond human comprehension? What if death is not the end, but the beginning of something greater? Imagine this. Your final breath escapes. The world around you begins to dissolve. A vast silence takes over, yet awareness remains. A strange weightlessness overtakes you. Then, a radiant glow appears before you. A presence so vast, so intense, it feels like the universe itself is watching. Is this the end, or the beginning of something far greater? Welcome, seeker of truth, to an exploration of one of the most mysterious and profound texts ever written, the ancient Tibetan guide to the afterlife. Today, we unveil a sacred text that claims to map out the journey after death. The Bardo Thodol, widely known as the Tibetan Book of the Dead. This is not just a book. It is a spiritual roadmap, an instruction manual for navigating the unseen worlds that lie beyond our final breath. It has been whispered from teacher to disciple, used in the final moments of life to guide the soul through what comes next. But here's the catch. Miss a single moment, and you may risk being trapped in an endless cycle of rebirth. This is more than just ancient wisdom. It is an invitation to see life and death in a way few dare to imagine. Are you ready to step into the unknown? Together, let us venture beyond the veil of mortality, where illusions dissolve and the deepest mysteries of existence unfold. The Bardo Thodol is attributed to Padmasambhava, an enlightened master who transformed the spiritual landscape of Tibet in the 8th century. Known as the Precious Guru, he was not just a monk. He was a mystic, a yogi, and a master of tantric wisdom. At the time, Tibet was a land of shamanic rituals, animist beliefs, and powerful spiritual forces. The native Bon tradition ruled the spiritual world, and when Padmasambhava arrived, he was met with resistance, not just from skeptics, but from deities, spirits, and unseen energies. Through tantric rituals and meditation, he integrated these forces into what became Tibetan Buddhism. From this sacred fusion, the Bardo Thodol was born, not as a mere scripture, but as a guide for the dead. A roadmap meant to help those who have passed navigate the mystical Bardo states, unlocking the potential for liberation even after death. Padmasambhava understood something radical. Death is not the end, but a portal. He saw that the moment of death presents a final opportunity for enlightenment, one last chance for the soul to escape the cycle of rebirth and merge with the infinite. And so, he recorded the Bardo Thodol, not just for the dead, but for the living, because understanding death is the key to understanding life. According to Tibetan wisdom, death is a transition, not an end. It is a moment where the mind is stripped of its physical shell and must make a choice, either to attain liberation or to be pulled back into the cycle of rebirth. The Bardo Thodol describes 3 distinct stages of the afterlife, each filled with challenges, revelations, and unseen possibilities. The first stage is the moment of death itself, the Chikai Bardo. Imagine it. As your body fades, your mind awakens to a blinding radiance, the clear light of reality. It is not the soft glow of a candle, nor the distant shimmer of stars. It is the essence of all existence, revealed in an instant. For those who have trained their minds, this moment is liberation. But for most, it is too much to bear. The light exposes everything, every hidden fear, every attachment clung to in life. If the soul is not ready, it will turn away, searching for something familiar. And in that moment, the opportunity for freedom slips away. In this fleeting moment, the soul is given a choice: to recognize this light as its own divine nature and merge with it, attaining instant liberation. But here's the problem. Many are unprepared for what comes next. Instead of embracing it, they turn away, seeking familiarity, and in doing so, they are cast into the next stage of the afterlife. This moment is crucial. The teachings of Tibetan Buddhism emphasize that how we live shapes this final moment. The more we cultivate detachment, self-awareness, and meditation, the greater our chances of recognizing the light and breaking free. But for those unprepared, the journey continues. This is where things become surreal. In the Bardo, the soul is no longer bound to a physical body. It is in a world shaped entirely by its own mind. Here, the soul experiences divine visions, but whether they appear as celestial beings or terrifying demons depends on the person's karma, emotions, and attachments. A soul filled with compassion sees radiant Buddhas, offering wisdom and peace. But if fear, greed, or anger have ruled one's life, the mind conjures nightmarish entities, twisted manifestations of inner torment. For some, the Bardo is a paradise. For others, it is a descent into terror. But the greatest revelation, none of it is external. These figures, these experiences, are you, confronting yourself. The Bardo is a test, a confrontation with everything we have repressed in life. If we can face these illusions, we can transcend them. But if we retreat in fear, we are thrown into the next stage of the Bardo. The final stage is the Bardo of becoming, a place of karmic momentum where the soul is pulled toward rebirth. Here, the soul is bombarded with visions of new lives, drawn toward them like a moth to a flame. The force pulling it forward, karma. Karma is not punishment or reward. It is momentum, the sum of all that you are, propelling you forward. A life spent in anger pulls the soul toward chaos. A life spent in wisdom leads to clarity. If the soul remains calm and detached, it may still merge with the clear light. But for most, the cycle repeats, and they are drawn back into the material world. This is why training in life is essential. Every act of self-awareness, meditation, and compassion influences this moment, determining whether we return or ascend beyond rebirth. The Bardo Thodol is more than just a book about death. It is a book about life. Could it be that modern science is finally catching up? Near-death experience researchers have uncovered striking parallels between the Bardo Thodol and the accounts of those who have been clinically dead, including the Life Review, where every action is relived with perfect clarity. Could the Tibetan Book of the Dead be more than just a metaphor? Or could it be a detailed map of what truly awaits beyond death? It teaches us that everything, fear, attachment, desire, is an illusion. The key to freedom is learning to see through these illusions now, while we are alive. So ask yourself, are you ready for the final journey? Are you prepared to let go of everything you believe you are? Perhaps by contemplating these teachings, we can not only prepare for death, but also learn how to truly live. If this journey into the unknown resonated with you, share this video, subscribe, and tell us in the comments. What intrigues you the most about the afterlife? The answer may not lie in what we believe, but in what we are willing to discover.